Hello everybody and welcome back to the Retro Recall. I hope you're doing awesome. Today we're going to do something a little different. We don't have any sort of PC to go over today or anything like that. I really wanted to spend some time going over some items that was donated to the channel actually. I was going through a bunch of things and someone had said, hey, you know, I got a couple of boxes full of parts if you want them. And I said, no, sure, absolutely. I'll get them off your hands. And they said, hey, we also have a bunch of old computer towers as well, if you want those. And what turned into just a small interest turned into quite a bit of a find. I was able to locate and get for the channel a bunch of different parts and 8 to 10 towers, a bunch of different components, speakers, software, things like that, which we're going to use on the channel. So it's really awesome that I was able to get that. So without further ado, let's just jump right in. We have quite a bit to look at. And, again, this is a different type of video. Please leave a comment down below and let me know if you'd like to see videos like this, because like I said, I have quite a bit of parts now that I'm happy to go over, and maybe these parts you used in one of your systems before. And again, I haven't looked through these outside of I was given the boxes. So let's just dive right in. So the very first component that we have here is a motherboard. So I'm just going to open it up, and it's quite dusty and dirty, of course. It's a very, very small motherboard, very mini form factor here. I don't know the exact terminology in terms of the form factor, but it is definitely a small form factor board. Now, I did look it up just before I started this video, just because it was on the top of the pile, just to see who makes the board, and it's BioStar makes this board, and it is an AMD board, according to the website. So again, just really cool to get this board and all the dust and dirt that comes with it. But again, you know, being donated these things keeps them out of the landfill, keeps them out of e-waste, and it'd be really cool to do a project on the channel on this specifically. Maybe do a build. And again, I have some spare towers. I have some really cool towers that have been donated as well that I'd like to get cleaned up. So lots of things coming up as well. But this board, again, being a BioStar, it's an MCP 6PB M2 Plus, and this board has you know, all the expansion you need. It has the IDE right on the board, of course, has the PS2, the onboard video, 4 USB. I don't know exactly what versions they are, and without going into the motherboard specs. RJ45, your sound card's built on the board, so a very, very efficient board. Hence, you know, one PCI slot and one AGP slot as well. So again, just looking at this, it's just really cool to see how compact you can make these, even back in the day. And then all of a sudden now, even newer systems are, you know, much, much smaller. So you have your ATX interface here as well, and your memory slots here. I don't know how much is installed. I'm just gonna pop those out just to see. There's 2 slots, but it looks like the stickers are the same, and it's not saying the size. It's yeah, it's not saying the size, so we'll leave that a mystery for now, and which is no problem. Like I said, we're not going to go into every component into a deep dive, but it'd be really cool to do a video on this particular motherboard. Let's actually see what processor is installed on this as well. Yeah, there's a little full of grease there, of course. Is it AMD Phenom, and I don't have the exact 2006. But yeah, it'd be interesting to get this board all, I mean, as you can see, it's quite dirty, but get this board all cleaned up and put it as a project. That'd be really cool for the channel. Okay, next we have a box of drives. I'd like to go through those first, just because they're here to my left, and it'd be nice to go through. So the first drive we have, again, spiders have made their homes in these guys, so a lot of these will have to be taken apart and cleaned up pretty good. But we have a BTC model BCD 24 speed, quite yellowed. on the front, minus whatever component the wheel was made out of. It did not suffer the effects of the sun. But yeah, so we have a 24-speed CD-ROM drive. Never heard of BTC. If you have, let me know in the comments. Very familiar with this drive. I had one of these as well as growing up in one of my systems. It's an Acer 36-speed CD-ROM drive, Acer branded. Now, Acer had different affiliates. They had A-Open, they had Acer peripherals, they had different, Acer themselves, of course, and they had different types of form factors and different models. This particular model of drive is an DC3A. Yeah, so it's just a 36-speed CD-ROM drive. So really cool to hope, again, be nice to test all these IDE. All right, and this looks like a slightly newer drive. It is a CD-ROM drive, actually. It's just when they started converting from beige to black fronts on them, and it is 2002. So just the turn of the millennium there. So CD-ROM drive model, it's HL data storage. So again, just a generic drive, but it's in terms of speed, it looks like it's a 48 speed based on the model information here. It's a GCR 848, so 48 is what I'm deeming it. 1B. So again, hopefully I'm right there. If not, feel free to look up the model, leave me a comment, and let me know. But again, it's really cool. All right, here we have amongst lots of different dead bugs. That's nice. Okay. All right. So we have another drive here. Just decided to come out on its own. So either the ejection system was already engaged, or it just wasn't stopped. Oh, it might be. We might have a damaged drive here. So anyway, what is this? A CD-ROM drive. It just says model CRD254P. December of 1995. I'm really curious to see what the speed of this drive was. Again, keep me honest on the comments, but the older drives generally had an indicator on the front of them as to what speed it was. I'm kind of disappointed. I'm hoping if it's powered up that, yeah, I'm just looking at the mechanism inside there. I'm hoping that it's powered up. That just takes it in and locks it. It's just hopefully it's just an injection type thing. I'm just going to look it up very quickly on the site and Google it here, because I'm really interested to see what speed this drive is. Hopefully you are too. If not, feel free to definitely go on to the next component here. So I'm just yeah, it's not giving me that model is not giving me any information. So again, if you know what CD-ROM drive this would have been. Oh, one second here. It's a Sanyo Electronic. I have that up now. And it's not, yeah, it's not, I'm looking it up and it's not even, oh, okay. I found another site that's just telling me that model is a 4-speed CD-ROM drive. So it's a Sanyo 5.25 form factor, 4X IDE beige CD-ROM drive, CRD254P. So really awesome that I was able to find that. But yeah, wow. So we have a 4-speed CD-ROM drive. I have another 4-speed CD-ROM drive in my collection that's not in part of this. It's Creative Labs. I love Creative Labs. I've mentioned that before. And it's a quad speed, but unfortunately it's just not functioning right now. So I'll have to get that up and running. So we have one here in a static bag. Stop. I must connect this to the board computer supply. All right. Well, I'm not doing that today. All right. Let's go ahead and just open it up. So we have Creative Labs, a beautiful Creative Labs 52-speed CD-ROM drive. That's really awesome. Manufactured 120700, so in 2000 from the looks of things. And yeah, just another beautiful IDE drive. So really hoping that works. I'll put that in one of my other builds. And yeah, it's just always great to have all these components and parts, and ultimately you can use them to build various machines. All right, we just have a generic, well, not generic, it's an HP DVD-ROM drive, again, 2006. A little newer than, you know, I mean, it is 2006, it's 2023 now. I mean, you could say it's hitting retro, but, you know, DVD-ROM drives were pretty common through the mid-2000s and onwards. And we have a brand new inbox sealed Linksys PCM CIA card, 2.4 gigahertz, wireless G notebook adapter. That's really cool. Designed for Windows Vista. Well. And I do have a plan on doing a Vista video on the channel, so it'd be really cool to do that. But adapter, it looks like it's all, yeah, it looks like the entire box is in, well, I believe in French. That's interesting. So it'd be really cool to see. It's English on the card itself, but all over the box, it's definitely different language there. So really cool. Yeah, but the fact it's sealed in box and we pop it into, you know, this will actually be really good for my older laptops because, again, the way my network is set up right now, I don't have that the ability for the wireless G to connect. So it'd be good to get that set up. All right, we have a Yamaha drive. It is CRW2200. So my imagination says that it's a CD burner. 20, 10, 40. So I imagine it's 20 write, 10 rewrite, and 40 read. Again, I'm looking to the audience to let me know if, make sure we're all on track on these things. But the date code on this is September 2001. I have never owned a Yamaha drive, to be honest. But yeah, it's great to see one. And, you know, all this, you know, over time, obviously these things, yellow or the plastics yellow. I really want to start retrobrighting some of the stuff, and I'm going to do that on the video, one of the videos as well. But it's really cool to see that. So put that aside. All right, we have another drive. It seems that we're coming to an end here in the box. There's lots of stuff in here. We have an LG drive. I'm actually familiar with this drive. I owned one of these before in the past as well. We have 52 speed, 52, 24, 52. So I imagine, again, that's 52 write, 24 rewrite, and 52 read. CD-RRW drive, model GCE 8520B. So that's manufactured in 2003. So really cool. And HL data storage is on there. So it says designed by Hitachi LG. So I'm wondering if the other drive that we saw earlier was an actual LG drive as well, based on that insignia. But again, I'm going to hope I get lots of comments on this video today. Again, letting me know if you like this sort of thing. I just love going through old parts and just seeing what's available. And this is all mystery to me. Like, I haven't gone through this. It's just really cool. And there's literally boxes and boxes of stuff. And today we're just going through 2 boxes. But, you know, if you like this sort of thing, I don't mind doing another video on this and just showing what was offered in the collection. Just love sharing this tech with everybody. So we have a light-on IT core DVD-ROM drive. So it says 16-speed DVD-ROM drive. I mean, EIDE OEM DVD player. Nothing too fancy outside of just regular DVD. April of 2007. So I think that's our newest so far of, yeah, because I have a 2006 HP over here. But yeah, just another DVD-ROM drive. So handy to have, of course. Definitely don't turn that stuff away. Oh, I just saw a drive coming up. It's going to be interesting to show everybody on the channel. Okay, so I have another drive here. That's a light-on IT core as well. Model LTN526S CD-ROM drive, manufactured in November of 2000. So it's just a 52-speed max. And if this marking on here is giving you any indication as to what might be next in the box, it's going to be, hopefully I can get all that off. So I'm going to show you next. All right, here's what I've been looking at. Again, just seeing. I'm very careful because I don't want to dump a whole bunch of stuff. But look at that! Wow, it's a drive, a rusty drive. So it'll be good to, you know, I mean, the integrity of the metal doesn't seem to be bad. And by the looks of things, it's already been buffed. I don't know. Like, take a look at that. I mean, if that's, you know, let me know if that's looks like it's already been kind of all buffed already, and then it's rusted again, because you can see the outline of it where it rusted again. Okay, and according to this, it's a Hewlett-Packard 8-speed IDE CD-ROM drive, manufactured in January of 1997, model number CR583B. It says Panasonic, so I mean, it must have been made for Hewlett-Packard by Panasonic, but yeah, it's just a shame whatever happened that created. And so, I mean, it's a gray drive. I don't have many of those for sure, and just really cool, just generic on the front. But yeah, it's an 8-speed CD-ROM drive. I'm just going to throw it over here for now, and then yeah, we'll definitely have to tackle that. And we have, oh, forgive me, they included a whole bunch of, besides the family of dead bugs in here, they included a whole bunch of different plastic covers for various systems in here. So, I mean, it's never bad to have those. They come in handy depending on what you're trying to do or you want to modify for a system. All right, we have a LightScribe DVD multi-recorder drive. It says recordable dual layer on the front. Obviously, this seems to be newer. Oh, well, September 2007. Model TSH653 Toshiba, Samsung storage technology. So there you go. I mean, this is, again, getting to the newer part of the scales. But, I mean, we arguably don't have them today in the systems. I mean, with the high speed and USB and all the great stuff that we have today, you really don't need them. But again, just really cool if you have the media. All right, and we have a Panasonic JU811E01 zip drive 100. That's really cool, especially in the form factor that it's in. You slide that right in where a 3.5 would go, or just underneath it. And yeah, so definitely interested in playing with this type of drive. I don't have any zip media, I don't think. I'm just taking a quick look here next to me because I do have a bunch of media. So I do have the Super 120, LS120 drives, but I don't know if I have the zip. But yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to see if that, works, take it apart and do a cleanup on it. And yeah, just really cool to get that in the collection. All right, what else do we have? Your famous floppy drive. We have a Hewlett-Packard 1.4 megabyte floppy disk. I love how I see Hewlett-Packard did make their own stuff by the looks of things, and we have Sony making this one for them, so that's pretty cool. I actually have a bunch of new old stock floppy drives as well. I got from cleaning out a warehouse, so it was really cool to have access to those. And then we have another drive that would have been probably an OEM drive at one point, where the cover's off and it had the the custom front on the case, and basically you pop in the drive and be able to see the bezel of the front of the case and just put it in. But yeah, it's cool to have that as well, just in case. And besides the multitude of stuff here, we have a card. So again, I'm not proclaiming I know all these. I'm seeing these based on whatever knowledge I have, as well as just showing everybody on the channel. So if you know what some of these are, or I stumble, I don't know all the answers, I don't know all the cards, but I mean, again, I just please appreciate. I love spending time with everybody here and going through these cards. So this particular sound card is an AV305 with a sound part chipset, analog devices, AD1864JP. So I imagine that this the volume control has external volume control and your speaker, and I believe, yeah, speaker, mic, and it's written on the silk screen. And it doesn't say anything in here. I imagine that'd be like a line out, and then you have your game port MIDI as well. Yeah, and then you have your inputs for your various CD-ROM drives, so your Panasonic drive, your Mitsumi drive, and your Sony drive. So the standards weren't all standard back then. I mean, I know that's kind of a conflict of terms there, but you'd have your IDE standard here, but then you'd also have your Panasonic drive, you'd have your Mitsumi drive, and you'd have your Sony drive. And if you notice a slightly different cabling here, it's really awesome to have cards that support that, because not all motherboards would have the input. If you had an older drive, older one of these drives, maybe that 4-speed or even a 2-speed or a 1-speed, that again, I have a couple of those. it may require a board like this, an interface like this. So it's just really cool to see that. So, okay, we'll put that aside. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and put everything back in this box and do a quick cleanup before we tackle the second box. So just stay tuned, and we'll be right back with continuing on. Okay, we're back, and it seems like we're all cleaned up here. I was able to get everything put back in the box and put away, and did a quick wipe down of the surface here, and hopefully all the critters that fell out of that box appreciate being the stars of the show. All right, let's slide this box over, and hopefully everybody can see. I'm just checking the camera here to make sure we're all good. And yeah, I just wanted everyone to make sure they can see. So this box looks a lot more cared for. You know, everything seems to be in bags. So one of the things that the person who gave this to me said was that he was accepting donations for equipment and parts and computers back in the he didn't exactly say, he said early 2000s and what have you, but he was just trying to build computers for for people that for his local church, I believe it was, for people that just couldn't afford computers or get on the internet. So he was donating his time to do this, and I imagine what all these parts for. But he had gone through a few things recently and just couldn't maintain this operation. So really awesome of him for what he was doing, and it's just really great to hear that story. So yeah, okay, so let's go ahead and just start diving right into this box of cards. So here we are. We have an well, we can see through the actual bag. I don't know if I'm gonna. Yeah, well, I mean, we can take some of these out as well. I just don't know. I don't know how easy it is to get everything back in the bags once I get them out. And I don't want to, yeah, I'm just going to leave them in the bags. I mean, like I said, I don't want to go through that. So they're see-through bags. We can see through them. Okay. So we have a Sound Blaster AW64 model CT4520 card, AW Creative. And of course, all your standard ports in the back. So really cool to have a card like that. I don't know if I have one of these cards actually, an AW64. So that's really neat to have. And we have over here, it looks like a dial-up modem, and it's a Connexent, so fairly generic PCI card. And nothing, it's not indicating any sort of speed on that. I would imagine this is a 56K modem. I could just be going crazy here, but yeah, it's RH56D-PCI. I mean, they weren't exactly creative with their model number, so I imagine that's 56 beats here. I'm right. All right, we have another sound card. I really want to take these out for everybody because I imagine there's some glare on the bags. All right, I'm going to take them out. I'll go through the efforts for everybody to this. I know everybody's clapping in the audience. We'll make sure I don't rip off a capacitor in the process here. All right, here we go. We have it out. Okay. See, it's a little bit of time added. That's cool. All right. So we have another Sound Blaster AW64. So I went from having none to two. Model CT4520 as well. It looks like we have, keep me honest in the comments, please, a wavetable headers. Is that what these are? These expansions on here, where you could add on to the board, additional breakout board there. Just let me know in the comments, please. That'll be really awesome. And again, just really cool having now two of these cards, an ISK card. So copyright 1997. So Sound Blaster AW64. Be interesting to hear these in motion. So I won't put them back in the bag in this video. I'll do them after. All right, here we have a. Oh, yes. Yeah. Okay. We have a 3-com. I don't know if there's any easy way to take these out. Let me try doing it the other way. See if I can get a better angle on it. Yeah, that seems to work a little better. There we go. It's not catching as badly. Okay, so we have a 3-com Etherlink 3 from 1994 ISA card. I don't remember. I remember these being very sought after when I was younger, the 3-com branded Etherlink cards. And we do have, the older connection for networking. Someone educate me, please, on this type of connection. It'd be really cool to hear what that is. Because, again, That's obviously an older version of connecting. But then you also have the RJ45, which is also really good. But I just remember these being very compatible with different things. So just really, really awesome to have these cards. And it was manufactured in 1994. Revision version 2, revision B. So yeah, there we go. And it has parallel tasking chip by 3Com. Yeah. Really, really, despite them being in bags, they're pretty dusty still. So, all right, put that aside. And we have another card here. And, oh my goodness, I see 3DFX label on it. We have a video card. Let's see what's in there. Looks like an AGP card. And it is a 3DFX. I don't know the model, to be honest. Oh goodness, I really want to know what type of card this is. It just says 3DFX from 1999 handwritten on the front of it. And yeah, so if you know what video card this is, I am very interested. I was told that you can tell by the memory on it. So if you know what type of 3DFX card this is, that'd be really, really awesome. But yeah, just to get one of these cards in this collection is really neat. A couple of 64 cards, 3Com card. I think yeah, he really kept a collection there for sure. And really awesome to again keep this out from the waste, because his he had indicated that he was getting ready to throw all this out, literally. So it's really cool to get into this. All right, we have a couple other cards here. Let's just pull them out of the bag here. All right, so it seems we have a video card with an S-Video out. It says 64 megabyte. I'm trying to read his writing here. MX200. So what's written on the card itself? MVGA NVG11AM400 64 megabyte with TV. So I imagine that's the TV out, S-Video out, AGP as well. Again, I have no idea who makes this card, but I mean, again, going through besides going through and Googling everything on the video, just really cool to see this old tech. I haven't seen one of these cards or heard one of these cards before. So if you know, please drop a comment below. All right. And on top of that, we have another card. Again, looks like AGP. We have it says Radeon 7000, 32 megabyte. So we have our coaxial out, geez, composite out, and we have our S-Video and our regular VGA says October 2001. So let's just triple check on here and see. And yeah, it's a Radeon 7000, 32 meg DDR TV out card. So another awesome card to add to the collection. At least I think so. I mean, different people have different opinions about cards they liked back in the day. I'm a big 3DFX fan. I know I mentioned that in my last video regarding my custom setup. But again, just there was different cards in the market for different applications and different configurations and builds. So anyway, it's really cool to see. All right, what else do we have here? We have another video card. It looks like a PCI card from 1994. I believe it's an ATI. It says on the chipset PCI Mach 64. My goodness, I haven't seen one of these cards in a long time. Yeah, ATI Mach 64 video card, PCI from 1994. Yeah, that's just really, I mean, he has handwritten 1995 here, but I mean, on the silk screen, it says 1994. But on the chipset, it does say 1995. So we'll say 1994 and a half. I know, terrible joke. All right. And then we have additional breakout here as well. Wow. I mean, one of my earlier cards, one of the ATI Mach 32 cards, ISA cards, that I had in my 46DX4100 build. So just really awesome to see the ATI branded as well as a Mach 64 card. So yeah, that'd be really cool in one of the builds as well. These bigger bags seem to be a lot easier to get in and out of, so let's take advantage of that on the camera. All right, so this is another, another video card, I believe, here. And it looks like a dual video card, or a dual setup here. It looks like, I have no idea what that interface is, to be quite honest with you. And forgive me, I should know, but it definitely has the VGA port. But it's a Matrox video card, and the model is, let's see if I can have it, see if I can find it. It says MGA MIL2HP5. It doesn't really say, it's an HP part number is on there, so it must have been in an HP system, if that's what it says. But yeah, Matrox video card from 1996, powered by MGA 64-bit graphics. The chipset says ISMGA 2064W-R3, and again, some additional expansion capabilities. Copyright 1996. I really want to look this up because I'm curious what this is. And again, please leave a comment below. I've already professed at the beginning of this video I'm not going to know everything, but really cool if people can tell me what this is, because and if this was a good video card back in the day. So lots of stuff in this video today for potential for comments and some assistance along the way. So definitely welcome that. And I welcome all the engagement. I've replied to every single comment on the channel. So again, if you comment, chances are I'm going to reply. All right, we have an interesting setup here. All right, it looks like a modem sound card, to be honest, with a breakout sound card daughter board here. So this is interesting. Yeah, my brain is not processing this. So we have, again, I'm just making sure that we have, everyone's in the video here. Yeah, okay, good. All right, so I'm looking at this, and it looks like a modem, obviously. We have the line in and line outs. We have a speaker jack there, and it looks to be a game port interface. And then on the breakout card through this, it says audio right on the interface. We have line in, line out, and microphone. Handwritten is a Riptide 974 modem plus audio from 1998. That's interesting, having dual card, PCI card on that. Yeah, Riptide is the chipset there. Again, just really interesting to have this type of card with the breakout. If you've seen this, again, comment. I be honest with you, I know they existed. I didn't. Usually it was all on one card, though. All the interfaces were on the one card. But I've never, to be honest with you, and if I had never seen one like this. But if it had, I mean, it would have been without that on it, and wasn't lucky enough to have both together. But definitely going to take the opportunity to clean that card up, and be cool to test it out and see what, just see what. It can do. And again, I'm not, it's just a modem and sound card, but I'm really interested in the sound card part just to see what it comes up as. All right, so we have another card here, and it looks to be, it has additional memory built on, or expandable memory, which seems to be populated on the board. So we have a compact branded ATI video card. It says ATI Rage Pro Turbo AGP, and it says it's from, let's see here, he has written 1998 on the end, and he also, it seems that there's expandable memory added on there as well, which is really cool. I think it could take, I was going to say, I think it could take a second expansion slot there, but only the one. It's just raised up a bit there, so I thought it could handle a second one, but I'm mistaken. It cannot. But yeah, that's really cool to see. I'd like to plug this into a system and try it out. And maybe that we can maybe take a 98 build or something similar and try some of these cards in another video just to really see together what they pop up as and have some fun testing those drivers. I also don't want to make a 3-hour video either, so again, leave a comment below and let me know what you think about doing things like this. All right, I'm not going to work on another modem here. I mean, modems are modems. Looks like a generic Connexent modem. Again, it looks like a RH56D a PCI card. So we already have one of those out in the mix as well. All right, we have another video card here. It says ATI Radeon 64. Let me just take it out here, just because I know the video cards are really. Now everyone loves seeing them, so and I do too. So let's take it out of the bag. So powered by ATI, AGP by the looks of things, and 64 megabytes according to the sticker here. Like we're putting all the pieces together. Sherlock Holmes going on. Here we go. Powered by ATI, Radeon VE with 64 megabytes of RAM. Now, I mean, it has TV out and everything. I remember having earlier ATI cards in my Acer builds and things like that. You know, when you'd buy it right from, you know, whether it was Best Buy, Future Shop up here in Canada, and a few other places. But I just remember, you know, these cards, the ATI branded Radeon cards, not being that difficult to get before onboard video really started to come out. So again, just really neat to see. All right, we have a Sound Blaster Live card, model CT4670. I just love Creative's numbering scheme. Like, again, you can go right online and just type that in, and boom, you know, it's just really cool off the get-go. So Sound Blaster Live, we have, it says Sound Blaster Live value is what he has written here, 1998. Does it say value anywhere on here? It just says Creative Labs, model CT 4670. I don't see value on here, but it does say just Sound Blaster Live. So again, let me know in the comments if that card. But I just love seeing all the different inputs and outputs and things like that. So I know that these other cards like this came with the front panel connector where you can have everything in the front. Again, I have boxes from this guy, so I'll have to go through and just kind of see what's there. So we have another sound card here. It says Crystal sound card. Pretty entry level PCI card from the looks of things. I see the A here. It's very, very indicative of Acer. Based on what I'm seeing, it's quite filthy on the backside, but I think that looks like A open symbol. Keep me honest here. And just your regular ports and things like that. But Crystal CS4280-CM chipset that's on here. It also looks like the crystal is bent quite a bit here as well. So maybe a repair needs to be done. Okay, great. Awesome. Let's keep on going. I can just live watching this stuff. It's really cool. Here we have a PCI Ethernet card with the coax connector as well as the RJ45 connector. And it is netware ready. So this is the card you want to have. That's really awesome to have. Let me just flip it around and see if I have a model. It doesn't say much on it. It's fairly generic card. Probably was NE 2000 compatible cards from back in the day. So just really cool to see the different connectivity. Back when I first started doing any sort of networking, I tried to go with the BNC connector to do my network. And when I started running into terminators and things like that, and I wasn't very familiar with the RJ45 interface, Ethernet connectivity. And so I learned very quickly that I wanted to go this route. Has anybody gone ahead and, in your days networked with BNC? And I mean, I heard there was a lot of different collisions and different connectivity issues and things like that you would get when you're trying to connect everything, if your terminator wasn't on right and all that. So again, just really cool to see. The other thing I know is that the XT IDE project, that they love cards like this because of the BIOS socket here, that you can program an EEPROM, put it in there, and you can program it with the XT IDE project and use the network cards like this to literally boot your system to be compatible, the older systems and things like that, with a Flash IDE CF or SD. So that's just really cool to just have one of these as well, because I, again, didn't have one with that. So could be another potential project. Well, we're more than halfway through the box here, so that's pretty good. Here we are, we have a boot ROM right on there as well. I said I didn't have one, now I have two. We have a D-Link, it looks like a D-Link PCI model. I know the D-Links were pretty popular back in the day as well. Yeah, I mean nothing. It's just a D-Link DE. Oh, there we go. DE528. I knew that they were pretty common, but I don't remember them having the BNC connector too often. Usually, the PCI cards I had were RJ45. So yeah, pretty cool to have that. All right, I won't dwell. I got to learn to move on. All right, it looks. I think this is a SCSI card. It is. Yeah. Wow. Okay. First SCSI card of the lot, everybody. So, yeah, so it looks like we have a PCI SCSI card by Adaptec. We have AHA 2940 SCSI cards. We have our internal connector for internal hard drives and other expanded peripherals. We have our connector on the back here. I'm not familiar with this sort of interface. I'm usually more familiar with the larger interfaces as well. But again, just really, really neat to see in the wild here come through. Now, I mean, SCSI, I don't have a lot of SCSI stuff. I have a brand new, new old stock SCSI hard drive, still sealed in the box. I have a couple brand new SCSI cards. I have a couple brand new cables. I'd like to try to get the SCSI hard drive working. I've always ever dealt with IDE. And if anything, maybe I'm a sucker for punishment with SCSI, because I know that SCSI can be challenging at times. All right, we have a new video card here. Well, I say new, but another video card here. Forgive my phone here. I did bring it into the video just because I want to do some Googling while we're together here, but I figured we'll just go right through. So we have an SIS 6326 AGP video card here. So yeah, I don't know. It says 8 megabytes in the front from 1996. Now, I don't know where he would, where would he have gotten that information? Well, right on the sticker here. So we have an SIS 6326 8M AGP VGA made in China video card. So yeah, I don't know how much performance this would have or what capabilities this particular card has. Again, I'm not familiar with it, but if you are, please leave a comment down below and let me know. All right, we have another sound card, and this looks like, oh, it is a Sound Blaster card. It is model CT2970. I'm just going to open it up. I know I've been the smaller bags are just harder to get them out, and I've been trying to keep from doing that. So we have the on the chipset. It says, it's very hard to read. It says Creative Tech from 1994. It says the chipset CT2502 on the silk screen. I imagine that's just their model information for the chipset. And then, of course, the model number of the card itself is 2970. So it's an ISA card from 1996. So yeah, if it says Sound Blaster 16 on the front here with his writing, so I'm wondering if he already looked it up. But yeah, you can't have too many sound cards from Creative Labs. So really happy to have that card. All right, what do we have? We have a fairly generic. This is what I'm very familiar with, as I mentioned earlier. So we have the D-Link DFE 530TX. It's a PCI card. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's a networking PCI card. These will come very in handy for some of my builds to be able to pop it in there. I'm not sure what the expandable slot is here. So if you know, just throw me a comment. I mean, I can look it up. But hey, I'd love to be interactive. If everybody was in a room right now looking through this with me, we'd be all talking about it. So it's really cool to do that. All right, what else do we have? We have another modem. GVC GPCI 56/ACH. So I've heard of the GVC brand. I've seen their boxes back years ago, and it's just a PCI card, 56K modem. I mean, nothing too fancy about it. Yeah, I was always a fan of the external modems, just because my very first modem was the one that I ever interacted with was a Hayes Ultra modem, 9.6 baud. And I actually have it here. You may have seen it in one of the other videos, and if not, I will be doing a video on it. But it was just really cool. And then I took that, and I always went from that. I went directly to the U.S. robotics line, 14.4, 28, 33.6, 56K with the X2 technology. So I was, but it was always external. I had one experience with an internal 14.4 modem, and this was my Windows 3.1 build. And it was quite a challenge to get going because it was non-plug and play. And back then I didn't know a lot about that. So it really forced you to learn what some of the cards today will get away from. So this is a DFE. This is a networking card again. D-Link DFE 538TX. Again, same model. Oh, sorry, the other one was a 530TX. Sorry, it's not the same model. So DFE 538TX, has another ROM on here that you could use. And I imagine has Wake on LAN. I think that's probably what the expansion is there as well. Attach the motherboard. But yeah, okay, cool. Just another networking card. I can't have too many of those. Well, I say that as the parts grow here. So we have a 56K modem. I'm calling everything a 56K modem from now on. Okay, so we have another modem here as well. I'm not familiar with this modem. MW560CI. All I can say is a 56K modem, just by the 56K, so it is what it is. One thing I've noticed in my collecting of components like this, I don't see a lot of older modems like 28.8s, 33.6s. I know we had in that the pristine A-Open machine the mystery PC that we all determined together what it was. That did have a 33.6 in it, which is really cool. But I don't have any 28.8s, and I don't have any 14.4s. I have a 9.6 here. I also had access, or have, I believe, in the collection, a 2.4 baud as well. But again, that wouldn't have been my family one. That would have been one that I obtained over the years. All right, we have another video card. I'm just excited when I see all these old video cards. I just love seeing this. So we have an ATI from 2001, according to his handwriting there. So ATI, wow, it does not give me a lot of information. It says MIC and just in an emblem, and then it says E-G012-01-3613B from 2001. If you know what this is, please tell me. It just says powered by ATI. Oh, there we go. It says powered by ATI Rage 128 Ultra. So there you go. It's a Rage 128 Ultra, AGP by the looks of things. But again, I don't know who makes it. So, if you know, hold on. It says Astron written on the connector here. So I don't know if that's who makes the VGA connector or the actual board. All right, let's continue. We have an interesting sound card here. So again, the PCB just cut out as well. It just looks like it just says ESS audio. So we have ES1938S chipset, and there's no name on that. So it just says ES from 1999. I can't read his other writing there. So it's just an ESS audio card as well. So again, if you know what that is, let me know. And we have another modem. Okay, now I was feeling nostalgic about modems. I don't know if I am anymore. There's other terminology we can use for sure, but it says an Intel on here, Intel modem, and let's see if we have a model here. I just see I can't read that, to be honest with you. Part of it's scratched off the cell screen on the board, on the PCB. What's in the back here? Anything? Just, again, your standard. This has been tested to comply with FCC standards. Here we go. It says here it's an AMI 1A92/IE92. No idea what that is, but I don't know if it's a 56K modem or not, but it's PCI. So maybe I was too soon to jump the gun here. And by the looks of things, we have another 3-COM Ethernet card, this time just your standard RJ45. Looks like to be PCI, and the model is 3C905-TX. Again, it has another boot ROM on that. again, sought after from what I remember back in the day. If you had a 3-com interface, Etherlink card, you were flying pretty good there. So, and this is a 10100. The other card we went earlier was just a 10-bit network. This is a 10100 card. So I know that those are pretty compatible on older machines. All right, and here we are. We have a Creative CT5807 Sound Blaster 16 from 1998. I mean, my Sound Blaster 16 card is literally this big, and it has the interface for the multiple CD-ROM drives, different interfaces, similar to what we saw earlier. And then now look, we have a Sound Blaster 16 card. I mean, these were obviously value that got Creative so popular in the market through multitude of machines and configurations and builds. So it's just really cool to see the different marketing attempts and different things that they did to stay in the market and beat out all the competition. So there we are. Sound Blaster 16. At least I think it is, based on the writing in the front. And again, he has CT5807 on that. All right, we have another card here and another Ethernet / BNC card, and it says Realtek by the looks of things. I'm just familiar with the symbol. RTL 8029. So again, nothing fancy about this network card that I can tell, but I do know that it's great having the boot ROM there again for the XT-IDE project. But also I knew that the Realtek cards were very popular back in the day as well for compatibility. All right, and we have a very entry-level network card here as well. I mean, there's almost nothing to it. And it says MPX Acton. That's all that's written on the board. Unless I popped it into a machine, it's not going to give me, it won't give me any more information. It does, it does say it's 10100 card. So RP-NPNC-10100 NIC. So there you go. That's all you're getting today on that card. All right, we have something in bubble wrap. Is this a gold prize? What's in here? Well, we have a video card. S3 Virge. Huh. In S3 Virge, NIC 3BD. The chipset 86C325. So by looks of things, the PCI as well. Revision 1.3A. I know nothing about this card outside of the S3 Virge. And it says July 1997, so he must have done some research and put that on there. But that's it. I mean, I don't know. I could just have a mega memory on this. Again, I don't know how to tell what they have, but I just have to pop it in the machine and really get some information, or again, look up some additional numbers on there. But yeah, there we go. We have an older PCI card from 97, an S3 Virge. And I'm probably not saying Virge right, so I apologize. All right, so we have, by the looks of things, another sound card in proper anti-static bags. I'm probably going to order a bunch of anti-static bags to replace all these regular blades. So we have Sound Blaster Live card, and I know that we had AW64. We have another live card, I believe, over there, but CT4830. It's a Sound Blaster Live from 1998. Has your typical ports. And also digital output as well, and the the game port there as well. Sorry guys, just talking lots here, and my brain is going a little sideways, so apologize. All right, what is this? I have no idea what this is. Let's open it up and see. It's like Christmas all over again. In what month are we in? March? Oh, this definitely has a smell to it, I tell you. Very musty. It's a video card. That's all. It says it's an FX 5200 AGP 8X 128 meg TV out DVI. I'm not familiar with this, and I feel like I should be, because I feel like I've seen this. I'm familiar with the FX 5200 model. So again, leave a comment down below as to what this card was. It says it's from 2003 based on his handwriting here. Yeah, okay. So 128 meg. So it has your TV out and everything, plus your or sorry, yeah, it says TV out right on there, and then your VGA port. But yeah, if you know what this card is, why it was, I mean, outside of just being protected, is there anything fancy about this particular card I should know about? If you want to see it in a build, let me know. We can certainly accommodate. All right, what else is here? Oh, wait, what's this? There's a manual. Is that manual for that card? I don't know. Well, it looks like it. Diamond Multimedia? Is it possible that based on the interface of that, it looks like it's the same interface? How to connect to Windows 2000 XP users. So yeah, it doesn't give me much information outside of that. So again, it could be that. It could be the AGP version of the Diamond. It says FX5200 on it, so it's very possible. We have another fax modem. Yeah, okay, I'm just moving on. I mean, it's a 56K modem. It's A-Open. There we go. It's an A-Open card. That's where I'll stop. And we have our last card in the box. So let's move the box. See, last card. Everything's out. All right. This is the last one of today. Let's open it up and see what's inside here. We have an interesting card here. Holy. What else is here? Let's move this out for the camera because it's probably better to see this way. Let's see. All right, we have, looks like a bunch of connectors to go out to different components. So this, I mean, looks like an S video. Out. This is obviously a TV tuner card of some sort. And we have all the different connectors. This is really cool. The more I look at it, with the additional memory that's been added to it as well, it always helps having these populated because I'm not sure how hard it is to get them. So we have an ATI 3D Rage Pro AGP2X video card from 1998. I don't know how sought after this card was. I had an earlier model TVO card, or TV tuner card, sorry, and I really enjoyed it. Hooking my TV up to my computer, I thought that was so darn cool. I mean, why would you want to look at it on a 20-inch television when you had a 13-inch monitor or a 14-inch monitor look at it? Anyway, it's just really neat to do that. And obviously these cards with the cables, potentially could do, we're talking capturing as well. So you could do TV capture. I'm sure you hook up your VCR and things like that. That would be a pretty cool video actually to do. If this worked, pop into their system and put a VHS in, one that's very generic, obviously, because YouTube may take it away on me, but pop it in there and really demonstrate what this card could potentially do. Yeah, so it's just really cool to see this in the wild, and I call it the wild because, again, all of this was going to end up in a landfill or e-waste or wherever the heck it was going to end up, and I'm just happy that we were able to save all this between all the drives and this. And again, these are 2 boxes of an entire SUV full of stuff. Just crazy. And I can't wait to start sharing some of these things with everybody. If you don't want to see it, tell me. If you love seeing this stuff, let me know as well. I don't want to do this every single video, obviously. I want to keep on showing you different things. But this is definitely something, it's just cool to have a little break in the type of videos that we're doing together and being able to see these things. Okay, so there we are. Thank you so much for spending the time with me today and going through all these different cards. It was just really cool. Going down memory lane, seeing the different types of cards there were. A lot I don't know. I admitted that at the beginning. Again, relying on your comments, please let me know. I'm happy to go through Google myself and interact on here. I hope that this is something really neat that people like to see. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, please subscribe. We're knocking on the door of 300 subscribers, so thank you to everybody who subscribes. And hit the notification button. It just enables you to be notified when I make new content like this. And again, love hearing your comments. So leave a comment below. Talk about all the different things we saw today between the drives and all the different cards, and tell me your stories. Tell me your memories. Talk about all those great things. I love hearing that. And a little sneak preview. I am working on a different video right now as well on a very old 80s laptop. Is all I'll say about it. And it was hard to find. I've been looking for it for years, and I was able to find it. Just one of the ones I had in my family, and I can't wait to share it with everybody. Can I do a lot with it? Not necessarily, but it's just really cool to see it, and I got it in box. So that's all I'll say. So again, please like the video if you like it. Please subscribe to the channel. Please hit the notification button. And everybody have a fantastic day, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.